the 16 regional industrial revolution. And that is what is first on the new force 12 pillars. And they said they are going to create over 8 million value jobs within a decade by activating all the 16 regions in Ghana and industrializing their mineral and agricultural resources. And he says this plan envisions transforming raw materials into high value products for global markets, and then it will also generate at least 800,000 jobs annually across various sectors.
8 million jobs in 4 years. So that's an average of about 2 million jobs a year.
Yeah.
I don't think based on our fiscal space, the current space of the, I was reading an article by Dr. T. Champo, the economist, and was saying that when it's just about the promises of the MPP and the NDC to the financial, the fiscal space Ghana has currently, it's not possible for it to happen. And based on that, I think that 8 million jobs is maybe too ambitious. It's maybe too ambitious, because even if you stay with the 800,000 jobs a year, that is about what? The 1.6, 3.2. That's about 3.2
million jobs in
4 years.
4 years, yeah.
I think it's a bit audacious. Yeah. Then the second one, it talks about water transportation and sub-regional railway.
Yes.
Where he says that he'll do what?
We are going to propose. This one includes dredging and then connecting Ghana's water bodies to create inland harbors with the Volta Lake 7 as a central distribution channel.
Okay, so this is where he talks about connecting the Volta Lake somehow to the Ashanti region, so that there will be canals to transport goods and services across the regions.
With this one, I'm only looking at the maths in terms of how the volumes of goods that are moved from the port to inland Ghana, even maybe across the our borders, to how much this project is potentially going to cost. If
he didn't cost it actually, so I watched him. He didn't cost it,
but that's what I've been trying to contemplate on.
So for you can make a proper judgment of it based on the cost, because building canals are pretty expensive.
It's very, very expensive, and if you are going to alter the landscape of the whole country like that, then it has to be something that is really, really significant. Is our market size and is our market share up to those kind of
levels?
Levels
and
of
even
infrastructure.
in place of maybe some tectonic shifts and maybe the climate, the sea,
all those things
overflowing banks and all that, they need to be proper, activity going into that.
So it's a good idea, but I think it's for our economy, the size of our economy, the size of this country, and where I believe we have bigger fish to fry. That's what.
But he also made mention of building 8,000 railway network. I would have subscribed to that more.
Yeah, and because maybe a railway network.
Because when you do the mass, currently the deputy, the former, I think he's still the current, MP for Asante Achem South, Jasu Enkle. The deputy railways minister did tell us that when they construct a railway, it's about $5 million for a kilometer, compared to about 1.5 to 1.2 million for an asphalt road. So railway, if you are doing 8, that's about $40 billion. Dollars. That's about $10 billion a year. So even if you are doing 1,000, that's about $5 billion. That's huge.
But it's huge. But then, economically, that one is going to be more viable. Yeah, because it's safer.
Because you already have the
line. You can take more volumes of goods. Goods can be carted through the country in a more efficient manner. And I think that one will be a more sensible investment than the dredging and all that.
Okay. The third one is about energy city and technology hub.
Yes, so they are going to diversify Ghana's energy sources by shifting from hydro dependence to a mix of wind, solar, thermal, and biomass. I think this is your field.
I'm biased here, so for me, that's very possible. I've told you about the many research my team, colleagues from KNUST, we've done. Ghana has a huge deposit of solar energy, renewable energy, and we need to tap into it. And I'm very happy. He even made mention of nuclear energy that we explore. When you go to Ghana Atomic Energy Kwabenya, there has been some history with Ghana, especially in Koma, with nuclear energy.
I think Ghana signed an agreement with the U.S. government a couple of days ago on building a nuclear reactor in Ghana. I saw it on the U.S. Embassy page, I think yesterday.
Okay. So we have it. So for me, we need to tap into the solar because of the climate variation. There may be how do I put it? There may be a variation in rainfall patterns and all that. So relying on solar is also very, very.
But
very,
I mean,
important.
it's way past time that we started investing a lot more in different sources of energy. I mean, check
Now currently our energy makes almost 80 to 85% is still brown energy.
Brown energy, yeah. But when people are taking leapfrog steps into the future, I think we should also go along.
And we have all when you even read about solar, you can just do a quick Google search, just do a detour. When you check leading country that produce solar, most of them, Charlie, they don't even have the number of sunlight per hour that we have in our country. You go to Denmark, you go to the Netherlands. Most of the electric vehicles, the Netherlands, it's the nation with the most.
So it's China, US, Germany, in the European countries,
How many sunlights do they have around the year compared to us? So we just need to tap into it. When you go to Valley View University, just around the Odiombebre Junction, you see they have the solar photovoltaics, the panels there. Very beautiful. I think that gradually we need to win critical state institutions of the national grid. KNUST, Legon, UCs, and universities must go fully solar. Yes, we need to get there. Then maybe those around the coasters, maybe UCC, for example, St. Augustine, Scarlet, those schools can try and tap into the
wind energy because they are close to the sea and all that.
We should start it. The fourth pillar is about reserves.
Yeah.
What's it saying?
So on the reserves, it says they are going to introduce a novel tax reserves policy where multinational companies extracting resources pay taxes in raw materials, contributing directly to the national reserves. And then he says they are going to propose
printing. What's the first one again? Introduce a novel one.
A novel tax reserves policy where multinational companies extracting resources pay taxes in raw materials. So the taxes that they are going to pay is going to be in raw materials.
So if they are mining gold, they will pay the taxes in gold, not cedis.
Not cedis.
Or currency. That's interesting.
That's very, very, very interesting.
I must admit, maybe if a caller is when you open the phone, I can educate us on that, but I don't really have much information on.
Yeah, I think this reason, our currencies are backed by. And
Leo, let me put it out there that we try reaching out to his team to get them as we did for the MPP and the NDC.
But we were
not successful.
So as I was saying, our money is like when it's backed by actual resource, that is where the strength of the currency is determined. So by doing this, imagine if Ghana, or with all the gold that is being mined out of Ghana, and then we have like a huge chunk of gold sitting somewhere at the Bank of Ghana.
Okay, I get it. So is this like the gold for oil thing?
Something like that, I think. Yeah. Yes, similar thing.
So instead of buying the oil with cash, you buy with our gold.
Yeah. So if you have like gold reserves, it means then the currency that you'll be spending out will be as strong as in the one. Yeah.
Because you're not already packing all your dollars to go and buy.
Exactly.
Okay. And the second under the reserves is?
He says they are going to propose printing currency domestically to reduce cost and enable faster responses to financial crisis, to create a national sovereign wealth fund, a bank backed by reserves and envisioned as a new IMF for Ghana with the authority to manage these reserves.
But the printing of money, I know Ghana does it. Is it De La Rue in the UK? De La Rue prints our money. Yeah. So how are we? And I don't think countries just stand up to print
and then
their
just
money.
print money. Yeah. I've always wanted to ask this question. Maybe any banker can call in and educate me. How much does it cost to print one CD, and how much does it cost to print, say, 5 CDs? Especially when you look at the security, because they tell me some of the security features will determine how much you cost per print or per design, whatever metrics that they use. So how much are you going to pay when you print a note like 1 CD?
So when you check
as compared to
the DW has an article of 2020 that at least 40 African countries print their money in the UK, France, and Germany. And it's because, and in Africa, according to the DW, I was reading about it, only Morocco and Nigeria even mint coins. So they have a system to print the coins, but some of the currencies still printed abroad. And when you go to the Gambia, when you go to Ghana, they all print, and mostly they print from the UK, which is De La Rue. So De La Rue, and there's also a Sweden-based Crane, and German. There's the German word, I cannot mention it, but it is the British De La Rue. So I was writing the De La Rue. Then there's a Swedish company called the Crane, and it's also largely, when you read the article, it's largely because of the machinery and how
the technology behind
it. Yes, we are not yet there. So it's only Morocco, as of 2022, per this DW article, only Morocco and Nigeria
that are minting coins.
Minting coins, yes, coins. Is it what coins?
Coins.
Okay, so that's it. So that's what's happening. So it says that, for example, 6 or 7 nations, including South Africa, Tanzania, Mauritania, are set to print DS in Germany, whilst most French-speaking countries are known to print their money with the France Central Bank or the French printing company or Obeter Financier, something like that. So it's like most of the French-speaking countries go to France, and most of the East African countries go to Germany. Then most of the Anglophone countries also go to England. Yeah, so that's it. So it's just about we not having the right technology. But I think that maybe going forward, we can have the Bank of Ghana building enough, capacity to help us in that light.
If the patterns of those machines are out there, then we should have the capacity to build our own machines and print our own money.
Okay. So Cheddar says he will do that for us. The fifth one is that he said he will create something called the National Sovereign Wealth Fund.
Yeah. Okay, he says they are going to introduce a National Sovereign Wealth Fund, that's NSWF, to manage and invest the reserves in national projects. The NSWF is designed to accumulate and manage reserves derived from the nation's extensive mineral wealth, including gold, oil, and other valuable commodities. The NSF will also fuel national projects and enhance financial stability, and then promote sustainable economic growth without the need for external borrowing. This is a strategic initiative aimed at reducing the country's dependency on the international financial institutions like the IMF.
So to break the hold of the Bretton Woods institutions on us, we basically we will not borrow. We will just use the revenue we get, or the accruals we get from our resources like gold, oil, manganese, salt, and others to fund our national projects. And we will, when we get those things, we will set a sovereign fund. So something like maybe the sinking fund or something where we dedicate certain amounts to fund projects. That's my understanding of this.
Yeah. But then how, you have to produce something and sell too if you're going to make more money.
So it will mean that we need to have a conversation about our stake in these strategic resource, productions. What is Ghana's stake in Anglo Gold? What is Ghana's stake in Asanko? What is Ghana's stake in MPS? What is Ghana's stake in Electrochem? They are doing the advanced salt and all that. So you need to look at that, because for me, if you're talking about just the accruals from our oil, for example, when you read, for example, the PIAC report, when PIAC was 10, they told us Ghana had what? Less than $7 billion in 10 years, meaning that in a year, we're just having about $800,000 from our oil. 10 years, we had less than $6 billion. Less than $7 billion, sorry. It's less than $7 billion. So we're doing an average of about $800,000 to $850,000 a year. So we need to have a conversation about these things. What is our stake in? Are we investing GMPC, for example? Are we investing enough? Are we buying a lot of stake in most of these companies that are, because you see, where you put your money is where your heart is.
Yeah.
If you are getting the taxes,
where you put your money is where your mouth is.
Where your mouth is, okay. So if you are not investing right, you cannot reap how you want to reap. So we need to invest strategically so we can be able to reap strategically.
I think that's one of the things that people don't realize. We always say we have resources, but nobody's asking how much are we ourselves investing in our resources. If it's just the raw thing and you hand it over to somebody else who brings his machine and expertise and everything else, you don't expect to get a lot of money from it.
Then the sixth pillar, he says that he will do what they call the Senate revolution.
Okay, so this